Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope that you are having a good day. If it is daytime where you are, or if it is nighttime, I hope that you are having a relaxing night and that you are looking forward to enjoying your sleep. Thank you so much for being here. And today's reading session is all about where we live. Where we live. So we are going to be focusing on where we live. Where we live. Where do you live? Where do you live? Can you tell us where you live? So if you are here, you can put in the comment section where you live so that we can know where you live. And we can have a conversation before we start our reading to help us to talk about where we live. If that's something that you're interested in doing, let's have a conversation before we start our reading session to talk about where you live. Let me see you guys comment in the comment section talking about where you live. Where you live. And it's always interesting to talk about where you live because there are places that some of us may not be familiar with, which means we may not know these places. And in talking about where we live with others, we can learn about them. I am sure you would want to learn new things, and so would I. So let's see you comment in the comment section and tell us about where you live. All right, guys, so we are going to begin. Remember, our word live, it can also be pronounced as live. So this one is live, but this one is live. Live. So you have to be very careful when reading to know the context in which the whatever you're reading, it is talking about, what context it is referring to, for you to use the correct word, whether you would use the word live or live, because this same word can be pronounced different. It can also mean two different things. So right now, I am going live, but I live in the Caribbean. So that was me using the words in two different contexts. One to mean live and one to mean live. It is something that you would need to practice often to know how to use the word correctly. Okay, let's get right into it. So we are going to begin our reading for today. We are going to look at words that might be a bit difficult for us to call when we are reading. Let's look here at this slide to see if there are any words that might be difficult for us to call. Take a look. If there's any word that you can pinpoint or that you see that you would have some difficulty calling, or words that might be too hard for you to call, please type them in the comment section so I can know the words that you are facing problems calling, and therefore I can be able to call those words so that we can learn them together. So I'm waiting to see if there are any words that you have a problem calling that I would have to help you with. Any words that you might have a problem calling that I may have to help you with. If you see any words that you might have a problem calling, then type it in the comment section so I can help you to decode those words or to attack those words or to break them down so you can call them correctly. If you are ready, let's do it. So I do not see any word in the comment section as yet. Come on, guys, type your word in the comment section that you might have problems with. Okay, so I spot a word and we are going to look at that word. So the word that I spot is this one. And we can see this word appearing 2 times in our text. Let's decode the word. O and R together makes the sound or. C and H together makes the sound in this word. However, we know that C and H has 3 sounds. It can say ch, it can say sh, and it can also say. In this one, we hear the sound. After which we can put a short I sound and d together to make the rhyme id, id. Then we'll call the s sound at the end after we have called this word. Let's go ahead now and put the parts together. O and R together, or C and H. We're going to put the I and D together to make the rhyme id, or id. Think you have it together? Let's do it smoothly now. Or id, or id, orchid. Let's add the S sound now. Or kids, or kids, orchids. So our word is orchids, orchids. Good job. If you were able to do that and get the correct sound, then you did very well. Let's look for any other words that you might have a problem calling. What other word you may have a problem calling? Okay. Some persons may have a problem with this name. So let's take a look at the name. We can put I and N together as a rhyme or as a small word, in. Then we can put the Y at the end, making the E sound. Y at the end can make 2 sounds. In this one, we would hear E, E. So we can add the D and the Y together. That makes the E sound. And we'll hear D, E, D, E, D. Let's now call the word. L, in, lin, lin, D, E, Lindy, Lindy. Our name here is Lindy. Because it is a name, if you say Lindy using I for the Y at the end, that would also still be correct. But most likely in English, whenever you have this name, most persons would pronounce it as Lindy. Lindy. All right. Let's see. Are there any more words that we might have a problem calling? Okay, some persons might have a problem with this word. We blend F and L together to make the sound fl, f, l, fl. The O and W together, ow, ow. In this word, we hear ow, ow. I know. In other words like flow, you'll hear OW together, making O. But in this one, you're not hearing the O sound. You're hearing ow, ow. The er. Remember, we call the word first, and then we add the ending, which is the S sound. Let's now put all three parts together to form the word. F, ow, One more time. F, ow, Flower, flower, flower. We add the S now. Flowers, flowers. If you did that, that was awesome. Very good. So our word is flowers, flowers. And these flowers would be like a plant. So flowers would be a plant. Good? Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and read from the top. So I'm thinking that the other words, they're words that we have done some of these words, and I'm thinking that you might be very familiar with them and able to read them now. We're just going to pause the video for a second because there's a word that's not showing, okay? So let's show that word. Okay, so let's see. Can you see the full screen again? Yes, I think so. So let's go ahead now and let's read from the top. Is that something that you are ready to do? Is that something that you are ready to do? I hope so, because I am ready to read from the top. Let's go. We are going to be following the yellow mark. Let's follow the yellow mark. My name is Lindy. Call me Lynn. I live next to a field of orchids. Orchids, on the other hand, are flowers. Okay. So last time we read about another character. Tonight or today, we are reading about Lindy. Let's try it one more time. This time, we're going to follow the blue mark. We're going to try to read a bit faster. My name is Lindy. Call me Lynn. I live next to a field of orchids. Orchids, on the other hand, are flowers. All right, so there is a word that we did not decode or we did not break it down. So we are going to look at the parts for this word. Here is the word that we're going to look at. The F in the word makes the sound F. The I and E together makes the sound E. The I is silent. The E makes the sound. The L and D can go as a blend to say ld, ld, ld. Good. We have three sounds. Let's put them together. Field, 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 field. Good. All right. So, do you know what is a field? Do you know what is a field? Or have you heard that word before? Okay, so a field is actually an area that is open, and this area can be like one that has a lot of crops planted, or it can be a pasture, or it can be a place where you have a nice lawn, right? And this field or this ground could be a place also where you have sports activities happening, and you would call it like a playing field in that regard. If it's like where sports activities happen, then you call it a playing field. Good. So now we know what our difficult words mean. We know that orchids, they are flowers, and we know what field means. It's an open area that is used for planting, so it can have crops, or it can be like a pasture, or it can be a place where you have a lawn. Good. So any of those can work for the word field. Let's now go on to our new text. Is there any word here that you find challenging to read or difficult? Okay, type it in the comment section. Remember, if I do not see a word, then I would just choose words that I know might be a bit difficult for you. Okay? So it's always good to let me know what words you are facing difficulty with. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and choose words because I am not seeing any responses. So we have a few words. Good. We have 4 of them, and maybe this one too. We have 5 words that we're going to take a look at. These 5 words are words that you might find difficult to read in this text. And so we are going to learn how to decode them, after which we are going to read through our text fluently. Let's go ahead and read. Let's start with this word, or. We can group this part together, on, on. And this is normally used a lot as a prefix in English. On. The U here makes the sound U. On, U. Sh. So the S makes a sound like SH sound. So we hear sh on you, sh. And then we hear al on you, sh, al. Let's put it all together. On you, sh, all. Unusual, unusual. So this word says usual, usual. When you put it together, you hear unusual, unusual. So you might know what the word usual means. Do you know what the word usual means? When you say something is usual. Okay, usual, it means that it is something that is normal, or something that you are accustomed to, or something that maybe is a routine, right? So that is what it means when it's usual. So if we add on to it, on is going to give it, it's going to change the meaning for it. And the meaning is going to change to be negative. Okay? So when we add on to it, on is simply saying that it is not normal. So it would be something that is abnormal. It would be something that might be strange, or something that might be uncommon, or something that might not be habitual. Those are some of the words that we can use for something that is unusual. Good. Let's try this one. L, A and R together, we hear the sound A, L, A. When G comes before E, I or Y, we hear a song like J, which is the J sound, and the E would be silent. Let's put this word together. L, A, J, L, A, J. Large, large. Something that's large is something that is big. Something that is large is something that is big. Or we can use the word enormous, or even the word gigantic. Let's go ahead now with this one. In this word, we are going to put the B, the E, A, and U together. So in this one, we hear B, U. The E, A, U makes the sound U. The E and A, they are silent, and the U is making the sound, calling its name. So we hear B, U, B, U. Only the B and the U we hear. So you have to remember when you're spelling that the E and the A, they're there. They're just silent. Bu. Then we have this part. We have T, and the I makes the short I sound I. We hear T, I, T. And then we have this ending full, full. So we have F, U, and L. full. As you notice, full here is spelled with one L. We know full to have two L's at the end. However, in this word, it is spelled with only one L. Always remember that for spelling purpose. So now let's put the whole word together. B, U, bu, t, e, and full. Beautiful, beautiful. Our word is beautiful. What are some other words we can use for beautiful? So we just learned how to decode the word. What are some other words we can use to say beautiful? Okay. So when something is beautiful, it means that it is attractive or it is good looking, or we can say it is lovely. We can also say that it is pretty or charming or it is pleasing. What other words can we use? Today in English, you might hear people say the word hot, right? Hot. So when they say, girl, you look very hot, they're talking about you looking beautiful. So that's one of the words that you might hear in English and you might wonder, what do they mean? Yes, hot there would mean beautiful. Okay, but if you're writing, it will be best to use words like lovely, cute, attractive, pretty, good looking, charming, even gorgeous. Those words. Okay, I think we are good so far. Let's go to our other difficult word. In this word, I'm sure you can start pulling it apart because you can see different pieces that you can pull apart. Remember, we are looking for small words or we are looking for songs that we can blend together. We would put T and R together to say t, r, tr. We can put O and P together to say up, up. And then we can put A, the short I sound, and C together to say it, and then we can put A and L together to say al. So here we can put all four pieces together and we would be able to get the word. Go ahead. Tr, up, trop, ik, al. Put it smoothly now. Trop, ikal. Tropical. So the word is tropical. If you said that, you just did an awesome job. That was good. So what does the word tropical means? Tropical. And we are, well, I am living in a tropical place. I am living in a tropical place. In the Caribbean, we experience the tropical weather. So we can also say that I am living in the tropics. So rather than putting al at the end, I can put the S for tropics. Okay. So when we talk about something that is tropical, we are actually talking about something that is what? I know. Okay. You might say the word something that is hot, very hot. Yes. If you said that, then that is correct because in the tropics, it is very hot. Yes. So tropical can mean or relate to extreme hotness or being extremely hot. What else? You can say that the tropical area of the earth is on, or the tropical region is on either side of the equator. Yes, that would be something good to help you to remember what tropical is all about. Anything else? So when it's very hot, it's tropical. Yeah. Anything else? Or we can use the word humid. Humid. Humid is another word that we can use for hot, right? We can say that it is humid. Okay. So, is there anything else you would want to use to refer to anything else you would want to refer to tropical as? All right. Let's now go to our next word. This is our next word. And this word, we can easily break it apart. Remember last time we did the word next and we had E and X together. So E and X together, we can blend them together to make the song X, X, X. And those two letters, you can find them a lot at the beginning of words and in the middle of words and even at the end of words. We have a small word here. What's this small word? Pen. This ending at the end, IVE, it can say I've and it can also say if. It can make both sounds, I've and if. So in the word hive, we hear I've. But in this longer word, we hear if. So IVE can make two sounds. It can say I've and it can say if. In shorter words, that's when you would mostly get the pronunciation I've, like hive. In longer words, you will get the pronunciation if. Let's now put the parts of the word together. And I'm sure you're able to do this. So we have X, pen, then we have S, and this part says if. In this word, if. Shorter words, you'll hear I've. Let's now put all the pieces together. X, pen, S, if. You should have the word now together. Let's do it again. X, pen, S, if. Expensive, expensive. And I'm sure you know what the word expensive means. What does the word expensive mean? We use that a lot lately. With all the prices that are increasing, we tend to use that word a lot. So when something is expensive, it means that it is costly. We use the word dear also. So we'll say it's very dear. We can also use the word Overpriced. Overpriced. What other words can we use for expensive? If you said pricey, yes, we can use pricey too. Anything else? Any other word? If you say high cost, that can also be used. If you say costing a lot of money, yes, those can also be used. Okay, so now let's read through our sentences word by word. They have an unusual shape with a large lip and most often a spur. They are beautiful tropical plants that can be very expensive. If you were able to do all that, very good. Let's now read from the top. Let's see if you can read it with me at a quicker pace from the top. So remember, we know our five longer words. All our words, they are smaller. For this word, I think some persons might have a problem with this one. So we'll just song it out to help those who might have a problem with it. This word, we put S and P together to say sp. The U and sp, sp. I know it's a small word, but because the U and R make one sound, some persons may not know that and they may song the word incorrectly. So sp and spur, spur. Do you know what the word spur means? When you spur something, what does it mean? Can you tell? So when you spur something, you're actually prompting it or you're encouraging it, right? When you spur something, you're prompting it or you're encouraging it. Good. A spur can also be a device, right? So it can also be a device, it can also be a thing, which is a device. And this device is something that has a spike. And that spike is like a wheel. And that wheel, you find it on a rider's heel. So persons who ride horses, they would wear it. So in the case of a jockey, somebody who rides a horse, that person would wear a spur on their shoe. Okay, so let's now read at a faster pace. And this is to ensure that we can read all the words correctly. You ready to go? Let's do it together. They have an unusual shape with a large lip and most often a spur. They are beautiful. Sorry, guys. You should have continued. Tropical plants that can be very expensive. Just give me 1 second, guys. All right, let's try this again. I'm so glad this. So we're going to try it again. It's time to see if you have all the words. Ready? Let's go. They have an unusual shape with a large lip and most often a spur. They are beautiful tropical plants that can be very expensive. If you have done that, that was very good. Now we are going to remove all the clues and try the word one more time. This is to ensure that you know the words, how to call them. This is to ensure that you have learned how to call the words correctly. Are you ready to go? Let's do it. They have an unusual shape with a large lip and most often a spur. They are beautiful tropical plants that can be very expensive. You did well. I'm sure you did well. Our words again, let's see if you remember them. Unusual, beautiful, expensive, tropical, large. Very good. All right. So let's go to our next part. In this part, we have a lot more longer words that might be of a problem to you. Let's go ahead and try reading these longer words. So I'm going to highlight them so we can know the words that we might have some problems calling. All of the words that we might just have problems calling. I would also add this one. So there we have 6 words that might just present a problem for us to read. Let's look at this one. In this one, we are not going to join the U and R together. Okay? So the U and R together in this one does not go together to say Instead, in this one, we hear the U call its own name. So the U is making a sound where it's going to call its name and say you, you. Then we are going to hear the Y at the end make a song like E. Remember Y at the end, we can hear 2 songs, I or E. In this one, we hear E. So we are going to put this small word, it, along with the Y to make an ending. And this ending says itty, itty. You would find lots of English words that has this ending, itty, itty. So let's now go ahead and song the word. You, pew, pure, it, e. Think you have it? Let's try it one more time. Remember the way that we just separated the parts? You, pew, itty. Purity. 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 The word is purity. Do you know what the word purity means? Purity. Okay. So the root word for this word purity is actually the word pure. Pure. And when something is pure, do you know what it means? Okay. So something that is pure is something that is not contaminated, or something that is not mixed with anything else. Something that is not mixed with anything else. So we can also say something that is not dirty. Something that is not dirty. So it's free from dirt or free from any other substance. We say that it is pure. And that's what purity means. It means something that is free from any other thing added to it, or any dirt or any contamination. So something that is pure would be something that is natural. Okay, let's now look at our next word. Our next word is this word. So in this one, we can actually put these three songs together. B, all, ball. And we can put these first three together. The Y here makes a vowel sound. Remember, when it makes a vowel sound, it would say either I or E. In this one, we hear the short I sound, we hear E. E. So whenever Y makes a vowel sound, it can make the long sound or the short sound for I or E. So the four songs you can hear it make is, for I, you can hear it say A or I. For E, you can hear it say E or E. Those songs, Y would make them when it is acting as a vowel. Y acts mostly as a vowel when it's at the ending of words and in the middle of longer words. Let's go ahead now and put the first part together. S, E, S, E, sim, sim, sim. So our first part is sim and b, all, b, all, ball. Let's put the two parts together. Sim, ball, sim, ball, symbol. Our word is symbol. What is a symbol? What is a symbol? And there are lots of different symbols in our world today. So a symbol, it is a sign, or it can be a mark, or it can be even be a letter. It is something that represents something. So it is something that is used to represent something. So for example, when you open your two fingers, your index finger and your middle finger, you would say that that is the peace sign, right? The peace sign. That would be a symbol. So a symbol is something that represents something. So it could be an object, It could be a letter, it could be a mark, it could be a sign. All those things could be symbols. It could even be a token or a figure. All right, good going. Let's keep going. This word, we just did a longer word, the longer version to this word. Now, can you remember what we said? The first part of the word says, how do we handle that first part? And this word, when it's like this, it's actually a naming word. So remember the E and the A, they are silent. So we only hear the sound for the B, and the sound for the vowel U. So these three vowels together, only the U would make the sound. When the U makes the sound, the U would say U, calling its name. So we hear B, U, B, U, bu, and then we hear T. The Y here acts like a vowel. So we hear E, we hear the Y making a sound like E. Remember? We spoke about Y acting like a vowel at the end or in the middle of words. So here we hear E. So let's put it together. B, U, beaut, E, beaut, E, beauty, beauty. And when you talk about beauty, we just talk about the word beautiful. Now, when we talk about beauty, what are we talking about? Okay, so when you talk about someone's beauty or something's beauty, you're actually talking about what's about that thing that would please um, your senses in terms of what you can see. So when you look at that person, you might be able to see their shape, you might be able to see their color and their size and even their form. That is what would go together to make the person's beauty, the way that they look. So those are the features that you would want to look at that may look pleasing to you, to your eyes. And so you would say that that's the person's beauty. Those features that makes them look pleasing in your eyes. Their color, their size, their shape, their form, that's their beauty. Good. So we have two more words to go. Then we can go ahead and read our sentence. Let's read the two next word. In this one, the A and I say A. So we hear F, A, fe, T and H together here. We hear the song that is unvoiced, which is the soft sound. We hear our tongue between our teeth. So our word here is faith, faith, faith. Remember, A and I, A, faith, faith. And this faith, there are two different types of faith. So I'm going to give you what this one means so you would understand this one compared to the other faith. So this faith is like when you have all trust and confidence in something. So when you trust something and you have confidence in it, that's what you call faith in terms of the faith with the AI. When you are convicted about something. So for me, I am convicted about my belief in God. And because I'm convicted about my belief in God, then I would say that I have faith, and my faith is in God. So I believe in God, I trust God, I have confidence in Him. And so I would say I have faith in God. Faith. Persons would use faith to also talk about religion or church or denomination or your belief. Good. Our next word, in, no. So we can find two small words in it. In, no. Here, when C comes before E, I, or Y, a lot of times it makes a sound like S in most cases. So in this one, we're hearing S. So we see the S sound there. Likewise, we are going to also see the S sound here because this is also E. When it comes before E, I, or Y, we hear this sound, which is a soft sound. Okay, so if we look carefully now, this word actually says sense. The E at the end here is silent. Sense. If you look carefully, you see the word sense, like your five senses, sense. If we put all the parts together, we are going to have the word in no sense. Let's say it again. In no sense. Innocence. Innocence. We just decode that big word so easily. Innocence. Somebody that has their innocence would be somebody that is pure. And we just did the word purity. Somebody that is pure. Okay? So somebody that is blameless, we can say that that person has their innocence. Somebody that is blameless, we can say they have their innocence. Somebody that is not guilty or somebody that is guiltless, we can say that they have their innocence. Another word we can use is the word, well, the phrase, we can say their hands are clean. They have clean hands. So that's a phrase that we use a lot in English, clean hands. Their hands are clean. Okay, so if you just got that, then that is very good. So when somebody has innocence, there is no guile in them. They do not have any guilt. They are guiltless or blameless. So a baby has his or her innocence, which means they do not have any guilt in them. They cannot be blamed for anything because they are pure. All right, our next word is this one. So we have e, l, l, The E makes a long sound. We hear L, E, then G, an. You have the small word an here. And when C comes before E, remember, we make the song like S, so we make S. The E at the end here is silent. See if you can put it together because you know the parts. Okay, let me help you. L, E, G, ants. So ants is actually an ending for words in English. Like you have words like dance. So ants, you will find that in a lot of English words. Let's try it again. L, E, G, ants. Elegance, elegance. If you said that, that is correct. Elegance, elegance. What does the word elegance mean? Elegance. So when something is elegant, so elegant, or when it has its elegance, we can say that it is something that is stylish. We can say it's something that is looking beautiful, like, yeah, very charming. We can say it is something that is very, so we use the word stylish already. So what else can we say? We can even use the word, it's tasteful, as in yeah, it's tasteful. Yeah, we can also use that word for elegance. Any other word we can use for elegance? We can use the word graceful too, or something that is attractive. Yeah, we can use attractive, we can use graceful too. Because things that are elegant, right, or that has elegance, it means that they are looking or appearing very attractive or graceful, very stylish. Good. So if you said any of those words, then you are correct. Yeah, anything that is has dignified grace in appearance, that is something that is elegant. Or something that is, you know, of really good taste. When something is of really good taste, you can say use the word elegance for it. Yeah. So if you're a person that has good taste, or you're a person that appears graceful, or you are that person that appears stylish and well dignified, then with a lot of poise and that kind of stuff, then you can say that you are a person with elegance. Yeah, you're a person with elegance. Okay, so if you have just done that, that's good. You were able to call the word. and come up with other words that means the same thing. That's very good. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and read our text. Let's go ahead and read our text. They are a symbol of beauty, purity, love, faith, innocence, and elegance. Who would you love to visit, Lindy or me? Let's read it one more time. This time we are going to increase our pace. They are a symbol of beauty, purity, love, faith, innocence, and elegance. Who would you love to visit, Lindy or me? One more time. Let's see if we have it all together. They are a symbol of beauty, purity, love, faith, innocence, and elegance. Who would you love to visit, Lindy or me? And remember what story is talking about. The story is talking about the orchids. Good. Let's now read this part one more time as best as we can without making any mistakes and at a fluent pace, which means we're reading it at a quick pace without much pause. Let's go ahead. They are a symbol of beauty, purity, love, faith, innocence, and elegance. Who would you love to visit, Lindy or me? And I'm so sorry with that part. I was unable to um, drag throughout to all the words. So let's try it one more time. They are a symbol of beauty, purity, love, faith, innocence, and elegance. Who would you love to visit, Lindy or me? Think you have it now? I do. I think so. So we are just going to read it one more time just to make sure we have it all together. They are a symbol of beauty, purity, love, faith, innocence, and elegance. Who would you love to visit, Lindy or me? If you were able to do that, then very good. Awesome job. Let's go over the words to ensure that you remember them. Symbol, beauty, faith, innocence, purity, elegance. If you were able to call all the words, tap yourself on the shoulder. That is very good. So you did an awesome job. Very good. Now we're going to read this story from the top. We are going to read it from the top to make meaning of what we are reading. Let's read it from the top. Only 3 pages we're going to be reading. So it should be very easy for you to remember the words. Let's go ahead and see how much we can remember. So I really don't want the clues to be on, so I'm going to stop sharing for a while just to take a break. Let's take a little break, about some seconds, 30 seconds. That's so I can remove the clues from the page, and then we're going to begin. Okay? Yes, we are going to begin, guys. We are soon ready to begin. 30 seconds. Okay, we are almost there, guys. And I hope that you guys, you're able to understand all of the words that we have done and make meaning of them. Practice using them as much as you can when you are speaking every day so that you can improve your vocabulary and your oral English. All right, let's get back to sharing our screen. So we are right back. Remember, we are right back. Here we are, guys. Let's read now from the top. All right, let's go ahead. And we are trying to read as fluently as we can, calling all the words correctly. My name is Lindy. Call me Lynn. I live next to a field of orchids. Orchids, on the other hand, are flowers. They have an unusual shape with a large lip and most often a spur. They are beautiful tropical plants that can be very expensive. They are a symbol of beauty, purity, love, faith, innocence, and elegance. Who would you love to visit, Lindy or me? And remember that this is part two of Where We Live. So this is a follow up of the story that we did previously. So if you want, you can go ahead and check the story that we did previously. Okay, guys? So we are going to reread it one more time. Let's hope that you guys are ready to reread one more time. This time, we are going to try to do it as fluently as we can to ensure that we can understand or comprehend what we are reading so we can answer the questions at the end. Let's go ahead. My name is Lindy. Call me Lynn. I live next to a field of orchids. Orchids, on the other hand, are flowers. They have an unusual shape with a large lip and most often a spur. They are beautiful tropical plants that can be very expensive. They are a symbol of beauty, purity, love, faith, innocence, and elegance. Who would you love to visit, Lindy or me? Think you're able to read it now without making any mistakes? Let's just try one more time. My name is Lindy. Call me Lynn. I live next to a field of orchids. Orchids, on the other hand, are flowers. They have an unusual shape with a large lip and most often a spur. They are beautiful tropical plants that can be very expensive. They are a symbol of beauty, purity, love, faith, innocence, and elegance. Who would you love to visit, Lindy or me? Very good. So if you were able to read all that, then you should be able to answer the questions. Let's go ahead and answer the questions. Who would you love to visit? So you may not be able to say who you would love to visit because what we just did is the second part of the story. You would have to read the first part to understand the story. The first part is about someone who lives on an orchard, which means a place where there are lots of trees, especially fruit trees like nuts and also other fruit trees. So you would have to read that part first to answer this question to say which one you would love to visit, whether it's the orchard or the orchid, and you can say why. When you say why, you would have to use those things that you heard about the orchard and compare them to those things that you heard that about the orchid. And that would go with your likes, your beliefs, your opinion, and even your knowledge, what you would want to know, your experience. All those things would help you to answer this question. So, this question is a question that you would answer on your own from the information that is presented in the text. You would use that information along with your opinions or your beliefs or your knowledge, and you would put it together with your experience and be able to say how you feel, as in why. Why would tell us about your feelings as to which of the persons you would want to visit. Our next question, which is this one, have you heard of an orchard or orchid before? So we are supposed to take off the S here. Have you heard of an orchard or an orchid? And this, you can answer this using yes or no. So you may have heard about it before, maybe not. So you can go back to the previous live to learn about orchard. Okay, so those are the questions. Or have you seen it before? So you may have seen one before, maybe on TV, maybe on Google or on other search engines. You may have seen one. Maybe it's a video, maybe someone you know in your neighborhood, or someone you may know in your tongue may have an orchard, or you would have seen someone give an orchid to somebody before. So that would help you to be able to say whether you have seen it, yes or no. All right, guys. So I hope that you did enjoy learning some new words tonight, and also you did enjoy decoding the bigger words and then reading through fluently to all the words. I also hope that the meanings or synonyms that you have gained here of the bigger words, that you would use them as you keep practicing to read, practicing to speak in English. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who you think can benefit from it. Learn the songs, learn how to read, and you just keep practicing. Keep blooming day by day in love, and also practice to improve your reading. So, do have yourself an enjoyable time. You can re-watch the live, or you can watch the previous one to answer the questions if you would love to answer the questions. Hope to see you guys in the next live, which is tomorrow, Lord's will. Take care of yourselves until I see you guys, and be good. Remember to just keep blooming in love and continue to hope and trust in God. And keep reading, keep practicing. Until then, I'll see you again to practice English. Thank you so much for watching. Later now, guys.